Hi, I'm Amy O'Donnell on behalf of Bernina World of Sewing in Raleigh and Wilmington, North Carolina. And welcome to month 2 of our Feathered Friends Quilt Along. This will mark the first month of adding interesting and unique borders to the center block that we made last month. I think you're going to like this month. It's easy and it lends itself to chain piecing, and it's going to give us a striking result. So let's get started. This month, we're going to make 36 2.5-inch quarter triangle squares to go around the edges of our center block that we made in month 1. The cutting is pretty easy for this month. We just need to cut 18 3.5-inch squares from our background fabric and 18 3.5-inch squares from our dark fabric. And like I mentioned earlier, this is very stripology friendly. So if you have a stripology ruler, here's your chance to use it. If not, you can cut the old-fashioned way, which is just fine too. Draw a diagonal line from corner to corner on your 18 background fabric squares. Match each background fabric square up with one of your dark 3.5-inch squares and line up the edges carefully. And then you're going to stitch a 1/4 inch on each side of that drawn line. So a 1/4 inch on each side of the drawn line, and then we're going to trim on that drawn line to create 2 half-square triangles. So there's our 2 half-square triangles. Now we want to press these to the dark, but we do not want to trim them. Do not trim, remember that. Because these are not half square triangles, there's one more step to turn them into our quarter triangle squares. So we want to match up a pair of what we're going to call half square triangles for now. So match up a pair and have the fabric going on opposite sides. You can see I've got 2 matched up, and then I peel back the top layer and you can see that the purple is on top and the background is on the bottom on the underside. So they need to be on opposite sides to create that effect we're looking for. And if you lay them on top of each other, since we've pressed to the dark, if you lay them on top of each other and run your finger along the seam line, you can feel that the seams are nicely nested, which is going to create that fabulous point in the center that we're looking for. Draw another diagonal line from corner to corner and then stitch a 1/4 inch on each side of that line. And then you want to cut your pieces apart on that line. And this is where the magic happens. When you open these up and press them, you are going to have perfect quarter triangle squares. And we're going to use our Tucker trimmer or the ruler of your choice to trim these down to 2.5 inches square. Have the diagonal line on the ruler match up with the diagonal line on the fabric and trim 2 sides, and then turn and trim again. This is a great opportunity to use your turning cutting mat. Then you'll want to sew these together into 2 strips once you've made all 36 of these. And like I said, the chain piecing it's chain piecing friendly. You sew all 36 of them together into 2 strips of 8 and 2 strips of 10. And there you can see how I've pressed my seams, just if you're interested. Pressing seams is a very personal thing, so you can do whatever you like. And you sew them into 2 strips of 8 and 2 strips of 10, and they should fit nicely around your center block. You may need to ease just a little bit if your seam allowances are slightly off, but that's not a problem. Just make them fit and it should look good. So that's it for this month. Next month, we'll be doing the stack square blocks. So happy sewing, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.